The 2017 Ferrari 488 GTS 777 by Wheelsandmore. The Ferrari 488 GTS is a saucy piece of machinery that makes even the most hardened of men tremble in breathless anticipation. In a lot of ways, it qualifies as a dream car, the kind that ends up as bedroom posters all over the world. But what if there was a way to make the 488 GTS better than it already is? As we've seen over and over again, anything is possible when you have an aftermarket company that knows what it's doing. Good thing then that Wheelsandmore fits that mold, because we don't need to be convinced about its new program for the 488 GTS. We already know that it's going to be good, and if others need convincing, all they need to hear is 777 horsepower's worth of fun and fury. That, in a nutshell, is what the German tuner is offering, hence the appropriately named 777 program. It's a typical Wheelsandmore tuning project though, so there are some holes in it, not the least of which is the lack of any meaningful aerodynamic and interior upgrades to the drop-top Prancing Horse. Never mind those though, because we've come to expect that from the tuner. What we do know is that when it comes to engine tunes and proper wheels, there aren't that many tuners out there that are on the level of Wheelsandmore. It's got a litany of previous programs to make its case, and this one for the 488 GTS is the latest example of that. Continue after the jump to read more about the Ferrari 488 GTS 777 by Wheelsandmore. Exterior. We're going to breeze through these first two sections because Wheelsandmore has shown about as much interest in building aesthetic and aerodynamic upgrades on its programs as Ferrari is in admitting that the Stevio is actually a Ferrari wearing an Alfa Romeo badge. Fortunately, we're not left completely wanting in this section because the tuner does offer a good number of choices as far as wheels are concerned. The best choice in this case is a set of 21-inch, matte black FIWE wheels, but the tuner is also offering a set of its classic 6 spores squared wheels that can also be available as 22s. The choice of wheels are complemented by high-performance Michelin tires measuring 255 30/21 in the front and 325 25/21 at the back, and as is always the case with the tuner, customers are given free rein to customize the color and surface of whatever wheel option they end up availing. For those who want some aero bits, Novatek Rosso has them in spades. As popular as Wheelsandmore is among supercar owners looking for some aftermarket love for their exotics, it's far from the only tuner that's capable of giving the Ferrari 488 GTS the attention it deserves. One other tuner that staked this claim is Novatek Rosso, and the tuner proved as much when it presented its program for the 488 GTS back in August 2016 that included a carbon fiber body kit that Novatek described at that time as having gone through laborious wind tunnel testing. The kit ended up including a larger front splitter, rocker panels, rear diffuser, and a choice between two spoilers. Carbon fiber trim pieces were also included, and like Wheelsandmore, a choice of either 21 or 22-inch forged alloy wheels. Note: photo of the Ferrari 488 GTS by Wheelsandmore. Going the personalization route is another good option. Ferrari's tailor-made personalization division has proven its worth with some of the most incredible personalized creations in the past. It's done some work on recent Ferraris like the California T and the 488 GTS coupe sibling, the 488 GTB. One model of the latter, in particular, was customized as a one-off that carried a design inspired by the Ferrari 308308 GR3 Pioneer, the same car driven by two-time Tour de France auto winner Jean-Claude Androuet. Further proof of TaylorMade's ability as a personalization division are the 70 liveries it created to celebrate Ferrari's 70th anniversary, all of which are available to the 488 GTS. Note: side-by-side photo of the Ferrari 488 GTB tailor-made and one of the 70th anniversary liveries featured on the Ferrari 488 GTS. Interior. Note: standard Ferrari 488 GTS pictured here. It might be a good idea to skip this section entirely since the extent of Wheelsandmore's aftermarket program for the interior of the 488 GTS consists largely of, well, nothing. The stock interior configuration of the supercar is retained in all its glory, including the two-tone dashboard, sports seats, and the three-spoke steering wheel. The good news here is that Ferrari already dressed up the cabin with splashes of bespoke materials, so even by simply keeping the cabin in standard guise, owners are getting exactly what they paid for. There are other aftermarket ways to get upgrades. Should the standard guise be insufficient for a discerning 488 GTS owner, the previously mentioned Novatic Rosso program is here to the rescue. There's not much to go by, but at least there's something there to consider, as the tuner's interior upgrade program is made up mainly of a gamut of premium materials, including leather, Alcantara, and of course, carbon fiber. Potential customers do have the freedom to customize the cabin of their Ferraris by choosing anything from the aforementioned materials. TaylorMade is once again to the rescue. By far the best option when it comes to interior dress-ups for the Ferrari 488 GTS is TaylorMade. Just like its capability to personalize the exterior of a 488 GTS, it's proven to be just as adept in doing the same to the supercar's interior. Care for an example? Here's a good one that TaylorMade did to the Ferrari California T last year. There are generous helpings of Alcantara and matte black carbon fiber trim in there. The red, white, and blue racing stripes on the steering wheel is another notable feature of that creation, as are the contrast red stitching, the black aluminum footwells, and believe it or not, bullet-proof carpets and floor mats, for whatever they're worth. Drivetrain. This is where potential customers will get their money's worth on the tuner's 777 program. At the core of the engine upgrade program is Wheelsandmore's Stage 3 performance upgrade, which consists of a software tune on the supercar's 3.9-liter twin-turbo V8 engine, and a number of upgraded components, including an exhaust system with valve flaps, catalytic replacement tubes, an F1 air filter kit, and heat protection covers. The effect of all that tweaking is an output of 777 PS, which computes to about 766 horsepower to go with 660 pound-feet of torque. In other words, Wheelsandmore is capable of giving the 488 GTS output numbers that come close to the 780 ponies sitting inside the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. With 766 ponies and 660 pound-feet of twist on tap, the Wheelsandmore tuned 488 GTS not only has 105 horsepower and 99 pound-feet of torque more than the stock model, it should be able to clear 60 miles per hour from a standstill position in under 3 seconds. The standard 488 GTS can cover the same ground in 3 seconds dead, before peaking at a top speed north of 203 miles per hour, which so happens to be the max speed of the regular model. If those numbers are a little too extreme for a customer's liking, the tuner is also offering Stage 1 and Stage 2 kits for the 488 GTS. The Stage 1 kit brings the supercar's output up to 710 horsepower, 720 PS, and 620 pound-feet of torque, while the Stage 2 kit offers a little more power at 730 horsepower, 740 PS, and 645 pound-feet of torque. For what it's worth, the 777 program is also compatible to the 488 GTB. The power gains achieved by Wheelsandmore lines up well when compared to what Novatic Rosso was able to achieve with its own engine upgrade program. The two tuners followed a similar software-centric upgrade, with Novatic using its own N-tronic electronic control unit to get the job done. The result of that upgrade is an output reaching 772 horsepower and 658 pound-feet of torque, good enough to propel the 466 GTS from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds before peaking at a top speed of 212 miles per hour, 7 miles per hour higher than the standard model. So there you have it. Two renowned Ferrari tuners presenting largely similar engine upgrade programs for the Ferrari 488 GTS. Choosing between the two ultimately ends up being a matter of preference, so to make things a little bit easier, check out the prepared table to see how the two kits line up against each other. Pricing. The cost of availing Wheelsandmore's 777 program doesn't come cheap. The Stage 1 kit, for example, is priced at €3,360, which converts to $3,660 based on current exchange rates. Customers will have to pay a lot more though to get the Stage 2 and 3 kits, as both kits are priced at €10,083, or just under $10,100. Likewise, a complete set of wheels add up to €10,075 on its own, which converts to another payment of $10,100. Extra costs attributed to the suspension and exhaust add another €6,000, $6,500 to the total, bringing the full price of the kit to as much as €26,000. That computes to about $28,400. Competition. Ferrari 488 GTB by Alpha N Performance. Besides Novatic Rosso, most of the upgrades developed for the Ferrari 488 are for the GTB Coupe variant. There are a lot of them out on the market now, and one of them comes from Alpha N Performance. Like Wheels and More, Alpha N's program for the 488 GTB largely revolves around its engine upgrade, which is made up of the tuner's self-developed EVO-X Performance AQ tune. The results of using this program helps the Ferrari achieve an output of 790 horsepower and 635 pound-feet of torque. That's got enough to get the supercar to burst out of the gate and hit 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds before reaching a top speed of around 215 miles per hour. Read the full review here. Ferrari 488 GTB by XXX Performance. Another Ferrari 488 GTB program comes by way of XXX Performance, which brings out one of the most powerful engine tunes for the Ferrari. The multi-stage kit starts with a Stage 1 feature that pumps out 750 horsepower and 612 pound-feet of torque out of that twin-turbo V8. From there, things get better for those who avail of XXX Performance's Stage 2 kit. This upgrade pushes the supercar's output to an astounding 850 horsepower and 686 pound-feet of torque. Suffice to say, if power's the name of the game, this program provides the highest potential of any programs we've seen for the Ferrari 488 so far. Read the full review here. Conclusion. As far as name goes, Wheels and More is arguably one of the best in the supercar tuning business. Its 777 kit for the 488 GTS provides a wide range of power and performance benefits that a car like this deserves. Don't expect anything as far as exterior and interior upgrades go, but if your expectations are in line with what the tuner can offer, you won't regret getting this kit set up on your Ferrari 488 GTS. Love it. Wheels and More is a brand you can trust. Power and performance for days. Wheels remain the tuner's specialty. Leave it incomplete in the traditional sense of an all-encompassing engine tune. Plenty of competition. The Ferrari 488 GTS is good enough in its own right.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.